Hello, welcome to another monthly reset video. It's February and it feels like the longest time since I sat down to film a reset video, mainly because January is the longest month to ever exist. I don't know what happens to time, but it just slows right down. Anywho, we made it. Cheers. So I've got exciting things to tell you about and stuff. So let's crack on and get into it. For those who are new here, just a quick recap. These are the videos that I do once a month. It's a little cheeky something extra, and it's my chance to review the month gone from a business perspective and look forward at the month coming. And I try and do so from the point of view of not just me brain dumping on camera, although that is a little bit of what I do, but it's also hopefully helpful to you too. And if nothing else, hopefully it will kill 10 minutes and then you can have a cup of tea with me. Well, this is coffee because obviously. So we cover goals, budget and sales. But first we're going to start with goals because always. All right, my January goal, I was pretty easy on myself because, you know, new year, got to ease yourself into it. And it was, I've already forgotten. Notes. Oh yes, I've forgotten because I just blanked it out of my head. I had to catch up with my bookkeeping, which I actually did. It actually wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, and I'm going to give Bex from the Pigeon's Nest credit for that because she was doing her bookkeeping on the same day I ended up doing mine, and she asked if we wanted to be, what do you call them? Accountability buddies, and we were literally just sort of messaging one another on Instagram saying, have you done it? How you doing? It's good. I hate this. But it kind of gamified it a bit in my brain, enough to make it interesting that I didn't get distracted with things like having to load the dishwasher and, you know, brushing the dog and stupid stuff like that, which all of a sudden becomes very, very important when you've got to do something you don't want to do. So it got done. The goal was checked. Woohoo! I hadn't done my bookkeeping since September, I think. So I had September, October, November, December, and a bit of January to do. And it wasn't too bad. So there's that. Very happy. So that was how I did with my goal in January. I need a brand new goal, or I'm gonna stick with one. That was good, but so I needed a brand new goal for February, and I've decided it's going to be to get the merch done. I hate calling it merch because it doesn't feel nearly that grand in my head, and it. All right, now is not the time for whatever this is. Self-doubt. There's never the time for self-doubt. So. I need to do it though. Again, if you're new, the plan was I thought it would be fun to come out with one or two mug designs. And also I quite like the idea that it's a sort of print on demand item, because that is an area that I know nothing about, and it's not something I want to do anything more than just dip my toe into, but I am curious. And because it is such a big part of being a handmade seller online these days, and I know that so many of you listening are also either print-on-demand sellers or you have print-on-demand items, I want to know what the fuss is all about. I want to play too. Yes, on brand, to make my own mug designs, and it'd just be a bit fun for us all to sit down with our mugs. And I just like and want more mugs. I have a problem. Anyway, let's just digressing hard and fast here. Mugs, I need to make designs for them in February. Okay, that's the goals part of the reset video sorted. I don't know what that was. Let's move on to the budget. Wowza. The last few months I have been so frugal and a bit of a tightwad when it comes to my business budget. I mentioned in the last video that it was my personal budget that went overboard, but then it was Christmas, so, you know, I had an excuse. This month, it's completely the opposite. My personal spending has completely dried up. January, that's normal. Business-wise, ow! But it's all good things. I've spent a lot of money, but I've spent a lot of money doing things that are an investment for the business and that I've wanted to do for some time. They're quite boring, so I'll go over it very, very quickly. Things like Canva and Shopify, I've been paying for those subscriptions monthly, which is more expensive than paying them annually. However, I didn't have the spare budget, the spare finances to pay for these annual expenses in one go. January, I'm going to get to the sales in a bit, but it's been an okay month. I know! You would have thought December would have been busier than January, but no, I'll come back to that, like I said. Anywho, what that has helped me do has been to pay for things like Canva and Shopify annually, upfront, all in one go, and I no longer have to go month after month after month, which, budgeting wise, is going to be wonderful. And also, I'm so happy with this particular one. I had cancelled my QuickBooks subscription last year in an effort to try and claw back some finances, and I'd been doing it all myself in a spreadsheet, which I can do because I wouldn't say I'm proficient with spreadsheets, but I knew what I was doing. Nevertheless, a whole lot of extra work, and I'm back on QuickBooks because they've been doing this campaign. I think they finished it now if you're watching this in the future. I think they were running it until the end of January, but it was essentially like an annual subscription of QuickBooks, which is like bookkeeping software for those who are wondering. But it was for something like £12. And I was just like, yoink! I'll have that. I love QuickBooks. It was such a wrench last year to get rid of it because it does so much. Oh my goodness, I love it so much. And I just feel calmer knowing I've got that back. So I've just got to link everything up, put everything across, and I'm looking forward to getting my reports back, my profit and loss reports. Oh, it's the little things, folks. It's the little things. Okay, so budget. Yes, it was a bit of an eye-watering one, but all of the things that I bought were necessary and are going to set the business up in a really healthy and strong way for the year going forward. So although it was a little eye-watering, I actually feel so much better for having done it. So I feel good about it. Okay, but nevertheless, hopefully February won't be quite so eye-watering. Okay then, sales. Now this is one of the reasons why I'm excited to talk to you, because I got really silly with this. I'm just reaching for my laptop because I need to see it so that I can talk about it. So those of you who've been watching these videos for a little while will know that I like to gamify this part by making it into a fight between Etsy and Shopify, like who won out, who brought in the most sales and revenue and profit and all of that. Well, this time I have visuals. I know, I am such a nerd. Right, okay, and I'll put this up on the screen, but I'm just bringing it up on the laptop in front of me so that I can see what I am talking about. Are you ready? Ta-da! Like I said, guys, I've got to gamify it so that it's more interesting in my head. This is the state of play with regards to how Shopify and Etsy are doing in the battle for sales. You can see that there's 2 crosses there in January and February of last year for the simple reason I didn't have my website then. Then in March I set it up, launched it onto the world, and out of the 10 months last year that I had my website, you can see that it gained the most sales 6 months out of 10, which is not bad. All right, okay, so that was how 2023 looked. Now we're going to go into 2024, so I have another visual. Are you ready? Okay, so this is what we're going to see in monthly reset videos going forward, so that we can not only see who's won out in terms of sales, Shopify or Etsy, but we can also compare to the same month last year. Like I said, I just thought it'd be a bit of fun. Now that I've introduced that madness to you, who did win out in January? Well, my website. It wasn't even hard. Etsy, I got no sales. Nothing, nada, crickets. So going back to the chart, let's give January a nice green box. Like I said, whatever makes it more interesting for me in here. Now I am wondering, because I've been giving my shop a little bit of a critique again, and I'm thinking that maybe the reason why my existing views aren't converting into sales is because my shop, if I'm being brutally honest, has been a bit neglected these last few months. And I am wondering if that might have contributed to the low holiday sales as well, at least a little bit. The reason why I say this is because sales over on my Shopify website have increased since last month, and they are higher than they were this time last year. So sales are coming in, and they are in fact doing better, as I say, than they did this time last year, just not on Etsy. Now, I've known for a while that my shop was in need of some TLC. And this is another reason why I'm excited, because after I finished filming this video, I'm going to film the video podcast for next week, and I'm going to be talking about a little Etsy experiment that I'm going to be doing. But it is going to involve using my shop as a kind of way to test if Etsy is indeed a good place to sell handmade on now. Given some of the positive changes that they've brought in, I want to see if that trickles down to actual shops yet. All in all, it has been a really good January, and it was well needed after December, because I must admit that did leave me feeling a little bit flat, I can't lie. So yeah, although January was the month that never ended, it's made me feel a lot more positive about my business and just about the year going forward. So I remain quietly and cautiously optimistic. There we go. How was your January? Was it never ending for you too? I would love to hear how you did. All right, so that was January. Hopefully February treats me as kindly. We shall see. I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.